What is going on? So, here we are today on Chapter 4, Lesson 1, Day 2, comparing two quantities. And so here we start looking at part to part ratios and then also part to whole ratios. And so being able to identify which pieces or what information you have in your problem is going to go a long way for making sure you're being accurate with these questions. So when we see this, question number 1, there are 94 apples in a box. 37 of them are red and the rest are green. What is the ratio of the number of red apples, I'm going to continue color coding, to the number of green apples? So as we get started here, I know that there are 94 apples in the box. That to me sounds like our total or our whole that we have. So I'm going to do one big bar, and I know that this whole bar is 94 apples. I'm going to continue with my color coding there. And in this box, there are 37 of them are red, and the rest are green. So if I break this up, and I'm just doing a simplified bar model, I'm obviously not going to draw a box for all 94 of them. I know that 37 are red, and that means the rest are green. And so we don't know that quite yet, but we're going to have to figure it out. And based on this picture, it does seem like some simple calculations here of 94 minus 37 is going to get us our answer there. So let's see. I could set this up and do it algorithm style. I am going to use constant difference, where I know it's easier for me to subtract by 40. And so because I've made this 3 bigger, I'm also going to add 3 to that 94. So I'm doing 97 minus 40, and that gets me to 57. And that is my answer. I'll double check that because constant difference isn't always the most common of strategies, but 94, 37. Let's do our regrouping. So we have 7 and 5. So I don't know about you, but in my first strategy of constant difference, adding 3 and then subtracting 40 seems a little bit easier than having to do some regrouping, but personal preference, it is what it is. So either way, we know that is all of our information in this problem. We have 37. Now, the order is important. We want the ratio of red to green. So you don't have to color code, but I'm just going to keep myself accurate there. And 37 to 57 is our ratio of red to green. So now we want to know what is the ratio of green to the total. And so continuing to use this picture up there, we know that 57, we're doing the ratio of green to total. So our green is 57 and our total number of apples is 94. Seems pretty straightforward if you've drawn that picture. So now, the number of meerkats is 5/9 of the number of lemurs in the zoo. Or, in this case, it sounds like it could be a ratio of 5 to 9. So I like to, again, color code. So we have our number of meerkats, our number of lemurs, and I am going to write this in the order that is provided in the question. Meerkats and lemurs. I've found that it's easier when looking at ratios as a fraction to do them in a separate bar like this as opposed to one part whole bar like up top. And so we know that the ratio of meerkats is 5 to 9. So that means for every 5 meerkats, there are 9 lemurs. So I'm going to take a real quick moment, do my drawing here. Meerkats were green, and we need 5 of these. Duplicate, there's 2. Grab a couple more of those. There's 4, and then I'll grab one more. There's our 5, and then we need 9 lemurs. So I'm just going to duplicate that. Boop, boop. There's 5 of them, and then I need 4 more. And I am going to make these orange to match. So if we look at our picture here, we now have a ratio of 5 to 9, which is awesome. So cool. So the ratio of our number of meerkats to the number of lemurs, okay, I know my battery's low, is going to be, let's see, meerkats to lemurs is going to be 5 to 9. So now we are looking for the ratio of meerkats to the total. number of meerkats and lemurs. So we don't actually have that information yet. But I know that if I do this, that is going to give us our total. 5 plus 9 is 14. So the number of meerkats was 5. The total number of creatures was 14. So check it out. Awesome. Question number 3. There are some soccer balls and basketballs in a basket. For every 2 soccer balls, there are 5 basketballs. So, excuse me, we have soccer balls, we have basketballs, and so we need to find the ratio of soccer balls to the total number in the basket. So I'm going to do a quick model for this. We have soccer, and we have b-ball, and we know the ratio is for every 2 soccer balls, there are 5 basketballs. So I'm going to do my great. So there's 1 soccer ball, and if I take my lasso tool, I'm going to make those sides just a little bit thicker. There we go. So now I can duplicate this. So we have 2 soccer balls, and we need 5 basketballs. Excuse me. So here are the 5 there, and I will change those to be our orange in the middle. Great. So we have 2 to 5. Awesome. So we want to know the ratio of soccer to total. So I'm going to add that total. We know 2 plus 5 is 7. So the ratio of soccer balls to the total is 2 to 7. So what fraction of the balls in the basket are basketballs? So basketballs were orange. And this time, because it's asking what fraction of all the balls, we are going to be representing this in terms of the number of basketballs compared to the total number of balls in the basket. So we know our number of basketballs is 5, and our total number of balls is 7. So as a fraction, 5/7 of the balls in the basket are basketballs. And that seems to make sense with what we know based on this picture. Our whole bin of balls contains 7, and 5 of the 7, 5 of the 7 are basketballs. Sweet. And those are going to be correct, except they're just written out in sentences. Don't forget, if you would like some extra practice, there are some more questions. Ooh, come back. There are some more questions on textbook page 174, numbers 1 through 3.